Hi, she's Trixie, and I'm Sarah, and this is our Yarn World, a place we come to share the love of yarn crafts and all that it gives us and what we hope it gives you. We're on episode 198 today, and we're on our second video for the craftiest time of the year.
Yay.
Where we have a bit of a marathon to see how much we can get done in this time, coming down on a countdown before Christmas, which is the holiday that we celebrate in December. So we have quite the we've been busting some quite the work this time.
Yeah. And doing several things that normally aren't done but are now. So
yeah.
it's just fun. The first thing I want to start with is, let me just say first, I have a theme of green going on, and you'll see what I'm talking about. But yeah, it's a blanket. Same thing as usual. We've got the 2 strands. We've got a 10mm hook. We've got the half double crochet. I'm working white all the way through it, but otherwise it's pretty much blues and greens.
So white's the consistent color.
Yeah. So we've got this in fourths, but it's it works up really pretty. And it's basically the size of me, so like 5'4" came up to about here. And then I think I did, I want to say, I did either 76, which would be 75 going back, or 80 going back. I can't remember. I forgot to look. I know that the blanket that I just started yesterday was 101, and going back would be 100. And that one's going to be so pretty. But, so that is what I got done. And this is actually a gift. I have figured out who this one's going to. So, and then, jeez, even this. Even my little Ziploc baggies have green on them.
Yeah.
So, I worked on this. This is either for a birthday or Christmas. And it's a sun catcher, but the person that I made it for loves silver and green. So I worked with silver with the hardware and green for the beads.
So pretty.
And so, yeah, it's showing with your window. It's nice.
It really is.
And so this is for car mirrors. And
I like the shape of that.
The
prism.
The prism, yeah. I think I'm going to be going back and getting some more.
Okay, because those ones are easier on my eyes. Sorry.
Oh, yeah. But this one, Sarah has not seen it yet. And I know who this is for. It's the same person who's getting the blanket. And she likes gold and green. And so I
know that you're here. Let me show. I don't know if you noticed, but these gold pieces are hollow inside, so they are decorative. They look like ornaments.
Yes.
Did you do that on purpose? Yes. Oh, it's so pretty.
And with this top part, I ran the wire up through them and then back down through them. And so that they would be it's a little stiffer, but it works because I was able to wrap the wire around the circle here, I started with, the circle.
The bangle.
Yeah, and so it just really looks like a bunch of ornaments up at the top, and then the sun catcher. And so she loves Christmas, so this is going to be right up her alley. And so this is one for her. So That's what I've been working on. Actually, I had most of this done last night, but I had to put the prism in this morning before I got here. So wanted to show it because if I start doing a whole bunch of other things for next week, I didn't want this one to be... if I could do it today, that was going to make it easier for me. And then I can start wrapping stuff as I'm getting them done, and that will be a whole lot easier.
Because then it's like a checklist. You got that done, you got that done, you got that done.
Yeah, and so I can just get it wrapped and done, and for me, that's just so much easier than sitting there trying to do everything the night before or whatever, so as I go along, as I've got periods of nothing to do, I can get things wrapped, and that will work for me. So what have you been working on?
A couple things. One, I asked my sisters-in-law, please give me a rundown of the kids' favorite colors, favorite animals, yada, yada, yada. And I got that for all of them. And my plan is to make homemade keychains for each one of them with their favorite, like their name on the front and their favorite color, and hopefully when they flip it over, it's their favorite animal on the other side.
Oh, nice.
I don't know if I'm going to get to all that. I'm going to try to at least get their names and then incorporate their favorite animal in some other way if that doesn't work. But I'm trying to make thematic gifts where when they all open their presents, they're all going to be the same but unique to them. And I hopefully over this next 6 weeks leading up to Christmas, you'll see me getting that done. I have 6 to accomplish.
Right.
If I include my kids in that total, it's then 8. So we'll see what we're going to do. We're going to see. I'm hoping, but I'm also not going to hurt myself if I can't get it done. And if you're hearing whining, it's just my dog in her crate. She really wants to come out because she sees my mom and she loves her. And my dog's just too big to be in frame.
She'll knock the camera over.
She'll knock the camera over. We're here today out of my convenience, thank you. Just wasn't able to make it over today. It's just been a crazy week. Kids not feeling good and just...
Yeah, there's fevers going through the schools, and so poor Olivia had a fever, and she can't go to school that way.
Yeah, so it's just been one thing after another, but life goes on. One of the things that I am working on outside of some of the projects I've already shared last week, such as the paisley pillowcase that I cut out into a embroidery frame, and I'm currently filling in with the person I'm making it for's favorite colors. Their favorite pattern is paisley, so working with the paisley fabric I already have, I'm just embroidering over it with their favorite colors, and the pattern's already...
It's already there.
It's already there. So I'm just working with it, and I'm hoping that they enjoy that for Christmas.
I'm sure they will.
Last year, I made our house elf. It's a Christmas elf named Hingle. Last year, if you go through, you'll see in our last Craftiest time of the year, I made him. And he is an active member of our family.
He's back, huh?
Soon.
Almost,
soon.
yes.
So... right as he left, around the first week of January, we got a magical letterbox that just all of a sudden came into our house that has snowmans on them, and it sits in our big open window. And when and we're able to send letters to him, and he sends letters back to us. And so they have been, my kids have been conversing with him while he's either been vacationing, traveling, or doing jobs for Santa Claus, or is up in the North Pole. And it's been very awesome. And he promised to come back at Thanksgiving. So he is going to be starting his Christmas with us at Thanksgiving. And it really has been eye-opening to realize that the kids really do not only love the Christmas magic that is in our house this time of year, but the homemade things. And I remember there were very specific things that growing up I loved that every year were a staple when we got them out of the box. I loved putting those things up because they just felt like Christmas when they were coming up. The decorations, the way that we decorated the tree, the way that the house smelled.
Yeah.
My mom always had very specific smells that were always going through the house, whether it be candles or wax melts or some sort of...
The potpourri on the stove.
Exactly. There was always something going on. So I want to kind of give Christmas that feeling now that I have my own family, and realizing that the elf is one of those things. Whether they... I hope to not have them outgrow it anytime soon, but, even when they get older, I can't imagine that they're not going to still look at it with some sense of happiness and good memory. I'm making other things. I'm considering it being every year we do a couple more homemade items in the house, or just we're introducing new things to be more traditional in our house. One item... Sorry, Daisy, you're fine. One item is that for the last couple of years, I've been wanting to make practically these homemade Christmas lights, like the strand of Christmas lights. You could crochet the Christmas lights. You could, what fleece felt was it? What is it that I'm using?
It's felt.
Felt them, where you take some fabric felt and you sew them. And I've been wanting to do this for years. I've been wanting to do it for years. I don't know why it's taking me so long. So this year, I finally got to it. And I decided that this year, instead of crocheting, I wanted to use felt. I have it in my house. So I started making bulbs. I concocted a shape. I figured that if I made 3 of this shape, I should be able to come up with a teardrop shape. And then I could put the little, like electrical attachment, like little top on top, and then when I'm stringing it, I'll sew them on. So this is how they're turning out. So that's a blue bulb, Christmas light bulb, and I got a white one right here, and I'm making a whole bunch of colors. I'm gonna make it a colorful strand, and these are ones I already got. I'm getting pinks done, and I'm hoping to do them in this particular shade, like this kind of pastel looking. And when I'm doing it, I'm wanting to string them up on my wall. Just have them be decorative. Just there. I'm really excited about this because it's something I've always wanted to do for Christmas, and it's just that little extra touch that is not that hard to just put away. It'll wrap up easily enough. I'm not going to worry that something's going to break or crunch or snap or have an electrical problem.
Right.
I might even put a little plug socket at the end of at the end of the strand, just to kind of give it a little pizzazz. I'm just excited because it's just a little extra something just to make it fun. And the kids can play with it without it having to be a big deal. They can run around with it. They can make things Christmas trees and put it around them. Like, I want it to be fun. Another thing that I'm hoping to do is I've been wanting, so I know that you can't see this, but my couch that we're sitting on is leaning up against the wall, but not all the way, because my husband made like a table that is snug to the back of the wall that fits the length of our couch, and it's only about 6 inches of a tabletop that runs the length of my couch. And because I've been wanting one for forever, and he made me one. And I like the idea of making like a little table runner that runs that table.
Yeah.
That's themed. And I've been trying to think of how I wanted to do it, and I almost wanted to make one that looked like a scarf, so I was knitting this long, thin strip, and I was like, I'm not feeling it. And I if I'm going to be committed to this long strand,
right,
I want to be feeling it.
Yeah.
Well, for another project that I was thinking about collecting my yarn through my yarn stash for, I needed red, and so I was looking for red, and all of a sudden I found these already made granny squares that I had already done. I have like quite the pile, and I remember what these were going to be for, Which, guess what? It's okay. I can make these again if I need to. But they're not being used. And I haven't gone back to that project in a hot minute. So what's wrong with upcycling the purpose? My idea is I can border them with another Christmas color, whether it be green or white, and then try to make it long enough where big enough squares, attach them, then do a final border, and then I can have my Christmas runner for my little table behind the couch. I have ideas to make Christmas coasters. One of them is the peppermint candy.
Oh, yeah.
One of them is an ornament with a little bulb on it.
Oh, nice.
A snow globe.
Yeah.
With a little, and like a little, you can do snowflakes.
Ooh.
There's a whole bunch, and I just like these little unique touches that they pack easy, they age well as long as you air them out. You could put them in make sure that they're dry, put them in like a vacuum seal bag, and then they are good till the next season.
Or if you need to, put some of those little things that come in your shoe boxes or whatever.
Yeah.
You can, I don't know what they're called. The little packs that keep things dry, you can put those in with your yarn goods too, and that helps it not get moldy or mildewy.
I'm concocting like a Christmas list of all the things that I know I'm making homemade, specifically. Not all my gifts this year can be homemade, but the ones that are able to be homemade or upcycled in some way, I'm trying to do. And I am finding that there's a lot of things in my house that can be reused for different things.
Yes.
And I'm just running with it. And I'm seeing what it's going to do. I want to have fun. There's no reason not to have fun here. And so I hope that, it inspires you that if you're just needing some permission possibly to use an old project, Daisy, chill. You're fine. You'll get to say hi in a minute. I know that like with my granny square blocks, I had an idea for these already. So it's one of those things where it's like to reuse them kind of feels a little bit like betraying that old project, but it's not, because reality is that I need to be able to save my time for things that I have a deadline for. This allows me to get that itch scratched for that table runner that I really want to get done.
Right.
While also giving me time to keep going with the other stuff that I need to do. It's saving me time. And sometimes you have to put some life in some of your whips where you're able to make UFOs turn into something again. Right. That's okay. And so...
Well, I just wanted to say that Sarah put this quilt out that I made for my father-in-law, her grandpa, years ago for Christmas, and it's made out of old
flannels he used to wear.
Yeah. And so I even have the buttons, the pockets. There's pockets that I just left on here, and
it was called Grandpa's Pockets.
Yeah, I called it Grandpa's Pockets, and I told him, you can wear this, you can put it on your lap, and you can always know where the TV remote is.
Because you put it
in the pockets.
In the front, like the front chest pocket.
And he loved that idea.
Like this.
Yeah. So now that he's gone, Sarah wanted it, and so she...
No, you gave it to Caniel.
Oh yeah. And so it's nice to see it again. I really love the colors in that.
We always have quilts out. Yeah. My husband loves the quilts. My son really likes the quilts, and I do. Not that my daughter doesn't, but she really loves your Afghans. Yeah. So we have a lot of homemade items in the house, and it's a thing. I've been teaching, the kids have gotten really interested in learning how to knit and crochet in the last couple of days, so that's a thing I've been working on.
And it's a nice winter project. When they're stuck in the house, they can be doing something.
Well, we've been noticing that my son really likes video games, and we recognize that it's because of his hyperactivity. My son, I don't really, he's just a very hyper child. And sometimes he needs something to stimulate his brain that allows his body not to be moving because it exhausts him and it gets him overwhelmed, and then he doesn't think properly, and then he gets in trouble. And so it's one of those things where that ability to be able to sit down, concentrate on something that makes him feel like he's moving while sitting still is a nice tool. But he can't do video games all day long, and the video games do frustrate him, and it's screen time, and all the things that we're trying to have proper balance for. Right. But there's a level of like, I think that the knitting or the crocheting will still have that same feel, where it's like, it's tactile, it's small motor skills, but it creates something that he can adapt with, and he loves arts and crafts, but it makes him feel like he's doing something while he's sitting still. Yeah. And it might get some of that energy out. And so I'm really hoping that he likes it. The reason why the interest really came, my lord, you are whiny. Chill your beans. She just has her little tail wagging when I look at her.
I was just going to say that.
I know. I promise. You are seen. You're fine. A hound dog. She ready. She ready to come out. Had my box of assorted knitting needles out. I was looking for a specific size, and my daughter found these big thick pink ones, and my son, in the same size, found green blue plastic ones, and I figured, you know what, those can be your knitting needles and we'll learn. Oh, woof. Chill your beans. So, I'm excited to see what happens.
I guess she wants to be in the video today.
So, she's really, so I'm just, yes, we're hoping to be able to see what sort of projects we can come up with and maybe pass along this creative spirit that me and you have. Shh. So, as my mom says our quote for the day, I'm going to get her outside.
So, we have a quote by Henry Boye, Boye, and it says, "The most important trip you may take in life is meeting people halfway." The most important trip you may take in life is meeting people halfway. Henry Boye. I think that is precious. It's just what everybody, sorry, everybody can do. It's not hard, and meeting people halfway means that neither one of you have to go too far to make the friendship work or the relationship work. And so I just thought that was a really neat quote, and we both decided on this one today because with Christmas coming up, a lot of relationships are going to be
tested
at the forefront.
Yeah.
And you have to be around a lot more people that you might not be around, that and so you're getting tested, like she said, and
it might evoke some emotions because Norm, I'm not trying to cut you off.
No, and just so meeting halfway is a thing that you might want to consider trying.
I think the thing about this quote that stood out to me when we were looking at quotes earlier before the video started was that, my mom put the Christmas twist on it, the holiday twist, so to speak, where you might be seeing people that you normally reserve to this time of year, right? And there are families, like my husband's side of the family, where they make it very normal to do hangouts all the time. Like when I first started dating my husband, it was such a weird experience because they would hang out for hours all day long, whether it be a park, whether it be at the house. And if people lazily fell asleep on the couch, or if people wanted to get up for seconds, or if people wanted to do this, or casual conversation was happening in every room. And it was different because with my family, it was much more clockwork based. You know, you went to any family function and you could tell that there was a bit of a understanding, you know, a mores, so to speak, some unwritten rule as to what was going to happen.
And
So
kind of a routine.
it was a bit of a routine. And it's not that we didn't enjoy it, because in some ways it kind of helped a lot of us who kind of had that whole don't know how to talk to you. It feels a little forced, but having that structure of we're going to eat. Well, this food's good. What did you bring this time? Oh, where did you learn this recipe?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, where did you find that? That's really cool. I like this. You grew out your hair. There's a sense of it gave us some room to be able to not feel so pressured when because we had the structure, right? Because people were always so busy. My side of the family, a lot of people were always working. Like my uncle is one of the main men at this factory, and so I never saw him very much growing up, but Christmas was a time I normally got to see him. And it wasn't like this big huge thing, just that's the time you got to see him.
Yeah.
And it doesn't mean that he didn't love us. It just was what it was.
Yeah.
But whereas with my husband's side of the family, my mother-in-law will just text us being like, we're having a campfire tonight. Whoever comes. And you'll realize that this text message, this group text messages, has probably a whole bunch of people you don't even know who it belongs to and who's going to show up. But almost anyone's invited. If you end up being like, hey, well, I have a friend over, well, then bring them over. And it's just so different. I'm not saying that either way is wrong.
It's just what you get used to.
It's what you get used to. It took me such a long time to feel comfortable in the environment that my husband grew in, because that need to know what the expectation was and when things were going to happen and when people were planning to leave and when things were expected to be said or done or talked about was something that I was so used to, that the idea that we weren't compartmentalizing everything felt so weird. It felt disorganized. It felt like, well, what's the expectation here? You're just supposed to sit and chill.
How do you do that?
Whereas with my family, it's kind of like, okay, so what's the plan today? And it's kind of a fun, interesting thing, because normally a lot of us, when we get together, you know, the ones that we kind of like to call it out for what it is, we'll be like, what's the plan? We're going to eat. Cool. What's next? We're going to probably do the gifts afterward and then dessert. And then everyone gets to do what they want. Cool. And that's exactly what
Well, I'll tell you how it'll work at Thanksgiving. One of my daughter-in-laws will say, okay, when are we meeting for Christmas? What time are we meeting for Christmas Eve?
It is
and let's set the time now while everybody's at the table. And we do that every year.
Yes, it's like we're on conference call, and anyone who's not there instantly gets called and is at the table and on the phone, and we're all talking. It is the biggest conspiracy, and the husbands never know what's happening, and all of a sudden they show up and we're like, we figured everything out, and they're like, okay, you're making this, we're doing that, you're gonna wear that, we're gonna do this, you're gonna jump this high over there. Like, everything's all figured out. But that's not normally how my husband's family works. If we did that there, they would be like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
But it works for us, right? But it's one of those things where learning what makes the family run is meeting people in the sweet spot. It's meeting people halfway.
Yep.
Each family has figured out what works, and there's no reason to criticize it. It's not that big of a deal. But I also think homemade gifts, or even just really well thought out gifts.
Yes.
It does not have to be super expensive, and even if it is, it's something that you knew that they wanted and you saved up for on their behalf.
Yep.
It is something that meets them halfway. It's a way to be able to say, I saw you in this way, and I wanted to point it out in a way that can be celebrated.
Yeah.
And I think that that is something really unique, right?
Yeah.
Because when people see that gift, they're going to know someone new. Not that they went all the way, but they met them in a way that was like...
perfect for them.
Mm-hmm. And it's just so... it's very important. I know that seems to be a broken record here, but... a lot of times I've seen where gifts are just lazy. They are pointless. They're not well thought out. And I'm not saying I don't do the occasional gift card, but normally I try to make the gift card something that's on point for what the person would actually use it for.
Yeah.
I remember one year I randomly made it a Play Store, like the App Store for your phone gift card for my brother. And he's like, I normally never let my my debit card get put on that app because otherwise I'm going to spend it on random things that I know I don't need. This gives me permission to look into an app that I've really been needing because I've been needing a photo editing app. But I haven't wanted to put my actual debit card on because then it's going to get used for things I don't want it to be used for.
Right.
Doing that gave him some level of permission to be able to purchase something in a quantity he could stomach.
Yeah.
And it was one of those things where it was like, he ended up telling me, he's like, I appreciate that because the apps that you buy, even if you move to a different phone, if you have the App Store, they will transfer onto the new phone.
That's
so it's one of
nice.
those things where it's like he has it now.
Yeah.
So it's finding ways. It's finding those unique ways to meet people.
Yeah.
And so the most important trip you may take in life is meeting people halfway. Henry Boye. I hope that you're able to figure out what that is for you. Being around this time of year, normally you're figuring that out with people, like I said, that you don't normally see except for this time of year.
Yeah.
And that might be difficult. And I also want you to know that in meeting people halfway should not mean to lose yourself halfway. You should not have to be taking so much of what you need out of a situation to make them solely happy. Don't lose yourself. Be able to keep your promises to yourself too, because you have to live with you forever.
Yes.
So don't, they don't live with you every day. Even people who live with you every day don't live with you every day because you live with you in your head every day in a way that they don't live with you every day.
Right.
You have to learn to live with yourself. So please be able to maintain relationships that are worth it, that actually benefit you and actually increase joy, compassion, and genuine healthy curiosity in your life.
Yeah.
Do not waste your time on people who are not going to give an inch or a mile towards you, but expect you to sacrifice everything. And I know that might seem a little off center, but for the amount of things that I know that a lot of my friends are going through right now, it's not off brand. Right. So, for all y'all out there that just need a friend, know that we're here.
Yeah.
We're here every Friday. We're going to be very consistent.
Yes.
This countdown is our ride or die.
Yeah.
Today could have been a real day that any other time of the year we probably would have had to cancel. We made it work. So please know that we love you. We care for you. We hope that you'll visit us again next week. And until then, we hope that you stitch your way
To mental health.